Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we always love focusing on BookEm. That's why we're excited to have with us Chris Sunday, Book Bus Coordinator, and Heather Patchett, Fund Development Manager with BookEm. How are you two doing?
Doing great, Jeremy. Thank you for having us and sharing your platform with us. And I'm excited to talk about what we do at BookEm.
And we are very happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
Well, we have a lot to talk about. We've had the honor of working with you all on the Kids Dental Day and shoe distribution with the Nashville Sounds and seeing the book bus out there and giving books to hundreds of kids. And so we've seen the power of this firsthand ourselves, but now we have a chance, obviously, to share the story. So, Chris, let's dive in. Give us a little bit of history and some context for BookEm.
Well, BookEm, we're celebrating our 36 years of existence, Jeremy. We're really proud of that. As an organization, we do three main things. We do classroom reading, which is our RIF program. So we have over 300 volunteers that go into classrooms for qualifying schools and read to the students. And the students love it and the volunteers love it. Through that program, each year, because the readers go in 5 times a year, each year we give out over 30,000 books to the kids through that program. And we have a second program called BFNK, which is Books for Nashville Kids, which is a distribution program to get books into kids' hands where educators can come pick up books from us, other fellow nonprofits for their organization come pick up books from us, and they can go ahead and deliver them directly to their kids, either in the classrooms or in the community. And thirdly, our new program, which is a program I am running, is our Book Bus program, which is in its second year of existence. And what we do is we go out directly to the community through events that the community does or other nonprofit events. And we also do a lot of school visits. So we get to bring the kids directly, books directly, put them in their hands. As they get to go on the bus, they get to choose any book they want. They get to take it home and enjoy it. And it's just, for me, it's a real pleasure just to see the reaction of the kids and how excited they get entering the bus and getting a book. So those are our three main programs that we have at BookEm.
Yeah, and let's talk about the power of books. I mean, obviously, everyone understands the power of literacy, but when you talk about in a world where everybody's on their phones and you've got the digital side of this, having a physical book, talk about the power of a physical book. And just like you said, the joy that you get to see, as they get to pick out the book, but really then what that does to empower them for their future, for literacy, for opportunities, career development, like everything funnels through this idea of literacy. And so talk about the power of a book.
What I've learned, I'm new to this, so everything was kind of new to me. What I'm learning and has been stressed by our organization is the power of ownership and the ownership of a book, because the kids we deal with don't really have the means to go in, say, to a bookstore and purchase their own book or choose their own book. So what we do for the bus specifically is give them the ability to go in. We'll have 600 books in the bus when we do a visit. The kids can go and pick any book they want, and that's very unique for them. They do have library services, of course, where they can pick books out directly, but like you said, or we're discussing, the ownership aspect of it, the sheer joy of picking the book that you want and being able to take it home and keep it so that they can build their home library. You can see how excited each individual kid gets through that.
Talk about how the books are sourced. So give us the logistics on the back end for BookEm.
Kind of twofold. We do try to get involved with a lot of partnerships from a community business leader and foundations that help us through monetary donations to build an inventory for the bus, And we do a lot of direct book drives throughout the community where uh, some schools will go ahead and put together book drives. Some communities will put together book drives for us. We had a couple really successful book drives this year with the Catholic Diocese of Nashville, who raised over 7,500 books for us through their two book drives. So that's a great relationship, but it's done mostly through corporate donations, individual donations, so everyone can get involved, and also through direct donations through book drives.
Yeah, and this will play into your world pretty heavily, Heather, obviously on, the book drives and donations and where those dollars go. But one more thing, and then we'll kind of switch over and start talking about some of those areas, is
Mhm.
when you talk about the book ownership and the joy of picking out a book, there's a piece of this obviously where it's like, okay, what's going to appeal to the different ages and what's appropriate for the ages. So talk about kind of that piece of it in terms of the types of books you're looking for, how you have a good variety, and how all that plays into making sure that you have an age appropriate, book that's going to interest a child to put them on this lifelong learning trajectory.
That's a great question. And so many kids think they don't like to read until they get a book that really grabs them. So we might have books about sports, we might have books about math, um, so much more than just general story books. Kids today really love graphic novels. They really love Dogman. Um, and while those books are often more expensive, we do everything that we can to be sure that we've got a broad variety. And we even stock books in 12 different languages so that kids who grew up speaking a different language can take that home, share that with their families, and begin to teach younger siblings English. But it's a family bonding moment as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. And I think that is a piece of this too, is when you talk about the power of a book, it's the ownership and the joy there, but it's also too, as a family, an opportunity to sit together, to read together, to communicate and build those relationships together. And I think so that family time really is a special piece that a book empowers. Switch over and start talking about some of these community engagement opportunities because we talk about like reading and volunteerism. That's a piece of this. Funding is a piece of this, obviously, to be able to do all you do. So Heather, let's stay on you. Talk about the many different ways the community can start getting involved with BookEm.
Oh my goodness, there are so many ways. And I think the most extraordinary thing about BookEm is its ability to engage volunteers. So, Chris mentioned that we have 300 volunteers reading in schools. We also have volunteers coming into our office. They are cleaning up the like new books to be sure that they are in pristine condition for our kids. They're helping us sort them by grade and interest level. We have companies that we work with who are doing book drives for us. We also have companies that act as sponsors for events. In February, we will do about a dozen Read Me Day celebrations in schools. This year, we're focused on two. On February 20th, we'll be at Jones Elementary, and on the 27th of February at Mount View. And that's a great opportunity for Nashville folks, for companies to come in and have an opportunity to read to the kids that day. We'll have readers in every classroom. Every child will get to take home two books that they choose on that day.
Talk about the geographical spread. I mean, especially with the book bus. How far out do you go when you look at volunteers? How far out does that spread? So what is the geography? What does the geographical footprint look like for BookEm?
Right now, we're serving just Davidson County. So we work in 17 Title I schools and with about 180 different organizations to help us distribute the books. The bus has been from border to border. They are out on the road.
Yeah, as far as the bus goes, again, we serve Davidson County, all perimeters of Davidson County. We've been as far there's Mount Juliet. We do everywhere all the way up through Antioch, all the way through North Nashville. So nothing in Davidson County is out of reach for us as far as the bus goes. And just doing this, I realized how big of an area that is, because the book bus, we got probably top speed about 40 miles an hour. So all of these trips have to be pretty well planned out and thought out ahead of time. So we don't get there quickly, but we do get there in time. But yeah, we're covering a fairly big, not only just area, but a fairly big populace.
Talk about those logistics in terms of the book bus and scheduling it out, because you mentioned there's a lot of factors that go into this. And so when you look at festivals and like the Kids Dental Day and shoe distribution, for instance, what does that look like for organizations that say, wow, this sounds exciting. How can we partner up? How far in advance? Talk about some of those pieces for the scheduling.
Yeah, scheduling, we have a good problem. Our demand is very high. So we always direct people when I'm out doing community stuff, they ask, how can we get involved with the bus program? I let them know that we have a book bus request form on our website, that is BookEm-kids.org, that they can go to and request the bus. Since we are in such high demand, I do try to tell them to do it 90 days in advance, because we're pretty much booked 90 days in advance. And we'll try to accommodate as many, especially schools, if they request a certain date and it isn't a specific event they're doing, like an after-school reading thing, literacy night, try to move them around. But unfortunately, for a lot of events, a lot of them will be on the good months, weather-wise, and they'll be on Saturdays. So we try our best to accommodate them, but sometimes we just can't, because we can't be in two places at one time. And what we try to do is, if we do one year, we try, and they have the same dates every year, more or less, we'll try to then switch to one that we couldn't do, say, this year, and let them have an opportunity for us to come out to their event the following year.
When you look at kind of that vision moving forward, okay, we can't do it here, let's do it over here. Talk about some of your visions and goals for the book bus. When you look at, 2026, the year beyond, what are some of those goals for the bus, but also too for the organization?
Well, for the bus, and this goes for the organization too, our job is to get as many books in many kids' hands as possible. The bus we currently have is similar. It's called a step bus, and it's similar to you'd see as a food truck. So then we're limited in size to it, the amount of books we can actually physically fit in there. What we would love to do, and for the future, is to add a larger bus, maybe a decommissioned school bus, where we could actually operate two buses, so then we can be in two places at once. And also some of the functions that we do, the community events, Southeastern community event in particular, there's more kids than we can accommodate at these events. There's thousands of kids, but we can only fit so many books in the bus. So sometimes we'll have to close up shop a little early because we run out of books. We'd love to be able to do these big events with a secondary larger bus where we can accommodate every kid that's at these events throughout a lot of time for the event that we're doing.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, let's speak it into existence, right? So
we are trying. We are trying.
Well, I mean, you clearly, you see the need, you see the opportunity, and now, okay, what does it take to be able to get that capacity to be able to serve at that level? And I think just like you're talking about, okay, now we see it and we know what we need. Let's go make it happen. And so circling back to you, Heather, obviously to make that happen, what do those next steps look like? So for those individuals and businesses that say, hey, I want to get involved with BookEm, I want to serve and learn more about being a volunteer, I want to, come in and step in and start financially supporting, how do we start taking those next steps?
Reach out. Let us know that you're interested. As Chris said, our website is bookem-kids.org. There are volunteer interest forms on there. We have information about hosting book drives. We have a wonderful, small but mighty staff who we would all be delighted to talk with you about what would be meaningful for your group? Is it getting a group of people to come and do a volunteer day together? We would love that. If you feel like your organization has more capacity, think about adopting a classroom. And in that situation, you could both fund the books for distribution over the year for that classroom and provide readers to go in and read to the kids. And there is absolutely nothing better than to spend 30 minutes of your day reading to kids. We have 2 schools that have actually been adopted by corporate partners in Nashville, and we would love to see every one of our schools adopted.
Yeah.
And get that partnership going where everyone is invested in our next generations coming up as readers.
And I'd like to add this, Jeremy. I think Heather's too modest, but our big fundraiser every year is a breakfast fundraiser that Heather put on an incredible job this year putting it on. It's usually late September, early October. So we invite all types of corporate partnerships to get involved there to buy a table, join us for this big fundraiser. There's always a few extra seats, so if they want to get involved in that, and then they get to come meet some of the other, meet our board, meet some of the other nonprofit people that we work with, meet the staff, and kind of we give a presentation on the year that BookEm had. And we'll be having that again next year. So
September 22nd.
Heather did an incredible job this year, and I think she'll probably even do a better one next year.
Well, once again, everyone, the website, bookem-kids.org. So book and then em-kids.org is the easy place to go and get involved with BookEm. Heather, Chris, thank you for all you and your amazing team at BookEm do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us, Jeremy.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.